Hello, my name is Tarima Wainwright. I'm a mum, actress and law of attraction coach. Welcome to my channel. So today I want to get really back to basics and I want to talk to you about positive words, positive affirmations. Okay, and some of you might even be thinking, what even is a positive affirmation? So an affirmation is a sentence we tell ourselves to try and change our thoughts, so we can have that. It's a sentence that we tell ourselves, whether consciously or subconsciously, actually. So we might tell ourselves negative affirmations like, "Oh, I'm so fat. Oh, I just hate myself. Oh, my nose is too big. Oh, my bum is big. Oh, I'm so stupid." Like, those would be negative things, negative affirmations that we might say to ourselves. But if we go around using all this negative talk to ourselves, that's really not going to serve us. And so we might try and change our belief system with positive affirmations. I can't talk. Positive affirmations. Okay, so we want to say things to ourselves like, "I am enough, I am beautiful, I am gorgeous, I am so clever and talented," that kind of stuff. Okay, which might not necessarily, it might feel a bit cheesy, a bit corny, but it's all right. You don't have to say it to other people. You just have to say it to yourself. And like, if you start using this stuff on a daily basis, you're just going to show up as a different person. You're going to give off such a different vibe and energy, and all of a sudden things are going to just start going so much better for you. So I've come up with a little example to show you here to just get my point over a bit. So we're going to switch over to that now. So as you can see, I have got this picture of a stick lady here, and this stick lady is not saying very nice things to herself. She's saying things like, "I hate my life." Okay, so this, I'm just doing this for an example, right? She's saying things to herself like, "I'm fed up of being single. Life is rubbish. I hate my job. I'm too fat," or "I'm too skinny." We got down here, "I'm always broke." And at the end I've just put, "I don't really like myself." Well, looking at this lady here, showing up in the world with, that kind of belief system, how do you think she's going to show up in life? She's, going to go to work with like a really low energy and just be like really meh, isn't she? Would you even want to spend time with this person, to be fair? I don't really think I'd want to, I wouldn't really want to have a coffee with her, to be fair. She doesn't sound like a barrel of laughs. But, also, I'm not going to judge her either, because I know I've definitely had many, many days where I have myself felt this way, and I don't, you don't walk out the house and just declare these things to the world. So it's not like you declare them to your neighbours. You walk out, it's like, "Good morning, I hate my life, see you later." If you are feeling that way, and you say good morning to your neighbour's probably going to pick up on some kind of negative energy, unless you're really good at putting on a smile. But at the end of the day, that subconscious thought is still going to be there, isn't it? That you hate your life. So it is really important to choose wisely the words that you say to yourself. And in law of attraction terms, we often hear coaches say, change the story you tell about yourself. And at the moment, this is the story that this poor stick lady is telling about herself, and it's really not very positive. And we know that like attracts like. Did I say that right? Yeah, like attracts like. That just sounded wrong as it came out of my mouth. So if she's going around saying these things, I hate my life, I'm fed up of being single, life is rubbish, do you know what I mean? And all of the other ones that I've said, I hate my life. She's going to attract more of I hate my life, more reasons to hate her life. I'm fed up of being single. She's going to find more reasons to be fed up of being single. And she's going to continue being single too. Life is rubbish. Life will find more ways to continue to be rubbish and get even more rubbish. I hate my job. And, you know, exactly the same again. She will just continue to hate her job, and it will probably get even worse as well. So you might think, so what can this poor stick lady do about this? And so I'm going to move her to the side, and I've done a very Blue Peter moment here. And ta-da! Here is one I've made earlier. Okay, so I've made a happier version of herself where she has chosen to use positive affirmations every day for, say, 30 days in a row. She tells herself these new affirmations that she wants, these new thoughts that she actually wants to believe about herself, that are actually going to empower her. Okay, and so she shows up into the world completely differently and completely high vibes. So I should have covered that, but hey ho. Instead of saying to herself, I hate my life, she might choose to go out into the world and say, do you know what? I'm grateful to be alive, and I choose to be happy today. Yeah? That's all it takes. Happiness is actually a choice. I'm grateful to be alive, and I choose to be happy today. That's something she could say. She could choose something else. This one, I'm fed up of being single. How could she change that from a negative affirmation into a positive affirmation that is actually going to serve her instead? So she might say instead, I'm grateful for this time to really focus on my self-development. My perfect match will show up for me when the time is right. You know, and if she chooses to just live that way, if she tells herself that every single day for 30 days, it might feel weird at first. You know, she might think the first, 4 days to a week or so, no, I don't really want to be by myself. I don't, it might feel a bit weird. I don't really want to focus on my self-development. And then after a few days, she might start believing it and go, actually, it has been quite nice to do all these affirmations every day, and I actually am starting to feel a bit better. And I do trust that my perfect match will show up for me when the time is right. Actually, I do believe that now. And guess what? Because she's got that belief, it will happen. This one, life is rubbish. That's quite a nice simple one to change. She can just say, my life is awesome. Okay? She might say, I hate my job. Do not want to go into the world like that. So she might change it too. I'm so lucky to be employed, because my gosh, a lot of people aren't. And I'm going to make the best of this job until I figure out what I want to do next. And that affirmation is going to bring in so much inspiration. And she'll probably find that either her job will work out for her, actually it will just start being okay, or she might see a new opportunity. She might get a promotion or move sideways, or a job might open up in another company that is more suited to her. This one, I'm too fat or skinny. Weight is kind of a big issue for quite a few people. So she might decide to say instead, I love my body and I appreciate everything it does to serve my needs. Like, I resonate with this one a lot. I've had 2 children, so my body has been through a lot of change. But I can tell you now that I have been doing some positive body affirmations for the past few weeks, And my body confidence is just, it's really transforming. It's amazing. And then this one, I don't really like myself, which is just, it's really sad. And do you know what? So many people feel that way, but you have to love yourself. You have to speak nicely to yourself. You have to think, you know, if someone said this to you, all this stuff on this sad sick lady's page, if someone said, you know, like, your life is rubbish, or you're just always single, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you'd be really insulted, right? So if you say this horrible stuff to yourself, I want you to be really insulted and defend yourself and go, hold on a minute, that's not very nice, okay? Just like you would your friend, okay? That is it, you know, saying you don't like yourself, that's really disrespecting yourself, yeah? You have literally been with yourself your whole life. You should love yourself. You have literally been through thick and thin. Okay, so let's change it to something else. I accept myself for who I am, what I have done, and where I am going. I am enough. Okay? Now, there was a lady called Louise Hay. Some of you may have heard of her already and read her book, You Can Heal Your Life, which is amazing. I highly recommend it, or get the audiobook. Now, Louise Hay used some of the all of these practices and nutrition to heal her life. I believe she had a cancer, but honestly, she had a really horrific childhood. So it was amazing that she came through to be such an inspirational woman. I'm not going to spoil it for you by telling you what happened to her, but I highly recommend you read her book or get the audiobook. But one thing that she suggests in her book is to actually look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you. I love you. I really, really love you. And say it to yourself. Do you know what, actually, sometimes when I do it with me, I don't know whether this is just me being weird, but sometimes when I'm talking to the person in the mirror, I almost feel like it's another person in the mirror. So sometimes I'll look at myself in the mirror and I'll say, I love me. I love me. And that just, it hits me differently. And it's really powerful. I highly recommend you do this exercise, and you know, it might even bring out some tears. You know, you might have some forgiveness work that you need to do, but that's a whole other video, I'm afraid. That would be far too much for this one. But I highly recommend that you start speaking nicely to yourself, love yourself, and yeah, so do this for yourself, do this for the people around you. And if you have other people in the house or children around you, think about how negative words impact you, and then just have a little think about how those negative words might impact other people around you. You know, especially children, yeah, because if we can prevent so many children growing up hating themselves and feeling anxious or depressed, if we can prevent so many children from going through that and having to do this work later on in their life, and just raising happy, confident kids that feel empowered, like how amazing would that be? That's just a little side note at the end. Thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, leave a positive comment to encourage others, and also please ring the notification bell so that you can be alerted when I post a new video. Thanks, sending lots of love.